Welcome back, everyone. This is day two. Yesterday, we gave you the map for the global job market. Today, we arm you with the proof. I'm Onyobazi, and you are live at the Sages Lab Career Program. In case you're watching this for the first time, the Sages Lab Career Program is a transformative 3-day virtual summit designed to equip aspiring Web3 and data professionals with the strategy, portfolio skills, and negotiation tactics needed to launch and accelerate their global careers. Day two is not about theory, it's about tangible evidence. How do you and I turn our project into undeniable proof of work that makes employers say, we need this person? We have a powerful session designed just to answer that. While we wait, let's connect. Drop your current city and country in the chat right now. Let's see our global community. Also, you can as well use the hashtag Career Acceleration 2025 on X, right? So that we spread the word. Okay, I can see India. You're welcome, Amatu Hanan. Joining from Lagos, Nigeria. You're welcome, Divine. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Now, first, a lightning recap of our day one. Plan your strategy from the beginning. Build publicly and consistently. Don't be afraid to share your opinion after careful research. Be someone who is ready to do any work to evolve and learn from those who have done it. If you missed it, the replay is on our channel and you can also find it in the description as well. Now, for our icebreaker, drop in the chat right now, what's the one thing holding your portfolio back? Is it time, imposter syndrome, or not knowing what to build exactly? Amasu Hanan said it. Don't know what to do exactly. Okay. Kingsley joining us from Lagos, Nigeria. You're welcome. Okay. Not knowing what to do exactly. Okay. Okay. So we'll be moving on. We have two incredible guides, right? Our first is Mrs. Elizabeth, a human resource manager who will break down what hiring managers actually look for in a portfolio. Then we move from what to how with a hands-on workshop led by Stephen Onwughalu, talent operations at Sourcing Sprint. He will walk us through building a standout portfolio live. No bluff, just the blueprint and the tools. Okay, so someone have shared again in the comments. Sometimes it's imposter syndrome, sometimes not knowing what to build. Okay, during today's session, we'll tackle all that. Remember, get your notepads ready, jot down any questions you may have during the course of the session, and we will tackle each of them during the Q&A. So, for the day two, our theme is building, showcasing, and winning in the global market. Our first speaker for today is Mrs. Elizabeth. She is a strategic business leader specializing in building high-performing teams and resilient operational structures for high-growth startups, digital asset companies, and purpose-driven businesses. With over 15 years of experience across fintech, telecom, and consulting, she partners with founders and executives to translate vision into execution. Her expertise in lean talent strategy and agile performance frameworks have delivered measurable results, including significant cost reductions and record high team retention, making her a trusted advisor on how portfolios translate to business impact. As we've heard, our first speaker today has spent years on the other side of the table evaluating talent. Okay, she knows what makes a portfolio not just good but irresistible. Please give a huge welcome in the chat for Human Resource Manager, Mrs. Elizabeth. She'll be taking us through the power of proof, how to build portfolios that sell your skill. Please, ma'am, the virtual stage is yours. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello, hello. Good evening from this side. Can anybody hear me?
Hi,
Yes,
yeah, good
ma'am.
evening. We can hear you.
Yes, please give me a few minutes to set up and turn on my video. I will be with you shortly. So, thank you for that very warm introduction and well done to everyone involved in putting this together. I have worked with Tumi, you know, sourcing candidates and recruiting for numerous projects. So I can tell that you are in very good hands. So over the next few minutes, I will just take us through just a few nuggets, and we are basically going to be having conversations. So I hope that we would make this as engaging as possible. So we'll be having conversations on how to build a winning portfolio. I want to believe that everybody here is young. Let me know in the chat. How do I see the chat though? Let me see. I want to be able to read your comments. Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. Oh, thank you. Wow. There's a lot of love going on in the chat box. I didn't realize. So thank you so much. I see you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so we're going to be having conversations on, you know, how to position yourself to win in the global market based on the topic for the day. So, but before I kick off, I'd like to share an experience that I had a few days ago. So a few days ago, as usual, I was going through my social media pages. Can you hear me, please? If you stop hearing me, please let me know. Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can
Let
hear
me know
you.
in the chat if you can hear me. Fantastic. All right. So yes, so as usual, I was going through my social media pages and I saw, a vibrant young man share his experience, the experience he had with one of his previous employers. I was going to put it on a slide, but I'm unable to. So I'll just talk, through it this evening. So, and he said, he was working on a project and he poured his heart out. Like, when you say you really put your heart into what you are doing. And for some reason, he had to exit because he had, a couple of things he was doing. His hands were full. So he wasn't able to continue. So he notified the project lead and they were like, okay, that's fine. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye. And he was writing to express his, should I say, pain or disappointment. So at that time, he was like, so they just bid him farewell and that was it. But he said to his surprise, he learned that the person who took over from him was being paid 1 million naira. Right. So he was on this project. He had worked on this project for almost 8 months, going into 8 into 9 months, and he was being paid 150K. 150K. That's not $150. Not 150,000 naira. And to his surprise, the person that was taking over from him was being paid 1 million naira. Did somebody say ouch? Right. So how could that have happened? And if you ask me, he said what even made it more painful was that this person was someone that he had trained in the course of his career. So guys, tell me in the comments, if you were that person, how would you feel? Like you did your best, brought your A game on, and here you are having sweated your heart to make this project work. Few weeks down the line, they are going to hire your replacement, and your replacement is being paid almost 10 times for the same scope of work. And to make it more painful, this person was your student, so to speak. Right. So, how could that have happened? Let me see what you're saying in the chat. I want to hear from you because, like I said, we would just be having, oh, you feel terrible. I see you, Divine. Divine would and devastated. Like, tell me that if there's another word for heartbreak, how do they even say it on the streets? Right? Tell me if there is another extreme word. And the truth is, that's the reality of the world today when it comes to careers, when it comes to positioning. Like they say on the street, nobody sent you, right? You are just as good as the way that you position yourself. And to help us get ahead this evening, I've summarized my talking points into 4 P's. 4 P's to get ahead in your career, right? The market, those that are familiar with marketing may know it, but this evening I will put it in the context of your career. So the first P is your product, right? So when we talk about the products, you are the product. So your skill sets, everything you have learned, the Dune dashboards, the Messari, everything you know how to do as a professional, right? That's the first P. And because it's the foundation. So putting this side by side, the context of our young friend, he had the skills. So that wasn't even that wasn't negotiable at all. It wasn't contestable. And for you to be working with Tumi and his team in Sage Labs, or I used to know Tumi to be, of analytics sages, right? So I can definitely tell that you are in good hands. So it's not negotiable that you can do the job well, just like this, our brother could do a great job. But what was the difference? What do you think the guy that was going to be paid 1 million, what do you think he had that this our brother of 150K did not have? Let us call the 150K guy Emeka, right? Please pardon me. I don't mean, if we have any Emekas in the house, please, I don't mean to speak on you, just for the purpose of illustration. So Emeka is the 150K guy. Which name will we give the 1 million guy? Let's look for his tush name. Maybe we should call him Francis, right? So what do we think? Let me pick our brains for a few seconds. What do you think that Francis did right that Emeka missed? Let me hear from 2 people before you go ahead. So what do you think Francis got right that Emeka missed? Remember, Francis was Emeka's student. So in terms of, Emeka probably even knew more in terms of expertise, in terms of skill set. Yeah, I think it's the way Francis sold himself and his skills. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have brilliant people in this session. So well done. I absolutely agree with Smart Glow. He says, I think is the way Francis sold himself. Thank you. So remember I said your skill set and everything you have learned from Sage Lab Analytics is only the beginning. It's not everything, right? In my days, coming out of school, your certificate was enough. They'll tell you just, get a 2-1 and you're sold for life, right? But even these days, I have had calls to hire students from analytics stages that were even still in school. I see some of them on this call. So they're still in school. So it means that even your degree is supposed to be like a bonus now. For those of us that are on this call still in school, please don't wait until you leave. It's going to give you a good head start if you start building now. And it falls into, the skill set you have in your kitty and your portfolio. So please start building now. That's one. So the second observation, right, as to how work has changed is that you are competing now against a global audience, right? So in those days, maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, you were, just be in Lagos, like for location specific jobs. But now you are competing against a global or the same data analyst role or the research analyst role that you are bidding for. Somebody in Australia is bidding for it. Somebody in the US is bidding for it. Someone in Canada is bidding for it. Right. So you must be able to have that at the back of your mind. So please keep those 2 things at the back of your mind. First, you are the product, right? And it is the foundation. It is just the beginning. The fact that you can do amazing dashboards, you can do 1, 2, 3 things is never enough. Keep in mind the story of Emeka and Francis. That's one. Then the second P, I remember I said the Because you are the product, your skill set is just as important as the packaging. I think someone said that earlier. I can't remember who did. I think it was Smart Flow. It's about how you position yourself. I don't know how many of you have gone to a hotel, right? In fact, today I've been on the road all day. Traffic has been amazing. I went to a place called Farm City in Lekki, phase one. I was going to have a meeting there. I don't know how many of us know. For those of us who live in Lagos, Nigeria, I believe that we're a global audience. A bottle of water there is 800 naira. Like this is our water, oh, right? Water in traffic. And again, I bought water there, and I also bought water in traffic because it's been a hot day. Water in traffic is 200. Water in Farm City is 800. Water in a hotel is 1.5. Is it not water? For those of us that are familiar with some guy called Cubana Chief Priest, he will say money na water. Right? So what's the difference between the water in Farm City, the water in traffic, and the water at a hotel? The second thing, okay, someone says negotiating skills. We'll get to negotiation. The other, it's positioning. Please always keep in mind positioning. So because after you have built a solid foundation with your product, which is your skill set, your portfolio, your experience, the second thing to keep in mind is your place. Right? Remember, I just gave 3 scenarios of where the same item, which is water, is being sold at different prices. Now, so one hack I like to share is for you to determine your place is how distributed are you? Do a quick Google search on yourself and let us see. And please share your results. As all you do for me too. So that I'm not teaching you what I'm not practicing. Do a quick Google search on yourself and see how many platforms you come out on. If you're only coming out on Facebook, like they say on the street, Oya Sopotilo, it's gone. Right? So that would help you understand how distributed, because there's no point being the world's best kept secret. So you have invested, you have made the investment to learn skills, you have made the investment to build amazing portfolios, but if nobody knows about you, you are just as good as that guy that doesn't know anything. So please keep in mind the second P. I'm trying to run now so that we have time for questions and engagement. I should be able to wrap in the next 5 or 10 minutes. So how distributed are you? Number one, where can you be found? Right? Is your portfolio on GitHub, for example, if you are a developer? Are you on key platforms? Are you active in Slack communities where your peers are? Where your target markets are. So if you are job hunting, your target market is probably founders, your target market is probably recruiters, then also you need to be active in communities where your peers are. When I was going to hire for a project, I reached out to Tumi and I told Tumi, please give me 3 of your best guys. Right? If you have been on that platform and you are quiet, you say, oh, I'm an introvert, and you are quiet, and nobody knows the amazing thing that you can do, then you are hurting yourself. Nobody is saying you should be a nuisance and be jumping all over the place like a headless chicken. Nobody is saying that. But with respect to what you can do, your skill set, remember, your product, like they say, my Igbo brothers will say, carry your market on your head and sell. Let everybody around you know what you can do. Let your neighbors know what you can do. Let your friends know what you can do. I just signed a multiple deal, and I wasn't even looking. It was someone that knew me years ago that said, oh, there is this project, are you interested? And all of that. Right. So what did I say? Carry your market on your head and sell. That's a way to look at your distribution. So you must be distributed. I'm struggling not to use the word visible because it's like that word has been watered down, but it's how distributed are you within your community. So if I come to knock on your house, in your apartment, so what does Francis do? Can your neighbor tell me? Or are you coding from your neighbor? Maybe you think your neighbor is village people. right? Can your neighbor tell me that, you are a brilliant data analyst, you are a brilliant systems engineer, you are a front end person, you are a back end person, because the truth is you never know. You never know where the next opportunity will come from, right? So, number one, you must be distributed, well distributed, so that your product can be discoverable, right? I know of great products that I have to travel far to get. Because it's not convenient for me, what do I do? They say when the desirable is not available, the available becomes the desirable, right? So not everybody will have that pain to start looking, right? So the more distributed you are, the more visible you are on multiple platforms where your target audience are, the better for you. You have a higher chance of being spotted and being given an opportunity to build. Remember, one thing with careers is that the career journey, it compounds. Okay, so even if you are coming in as at a very junior role, maybe as a junior analyst or a junior researcher as Mesari, because you have worked in Mesari, it's a plus. So you shouldn't look at but before you would be found, you must be well distributed, having perfected your product and your skill set. Is somebody following me? So I've talked about two P's. Now let me see if you are following me. So what's the first P? Let me see in the chat. Let's see the first P. Let's see the second P. Then I'll move to the third P very quickly. Your third P is your pricing. And I'm going to take us back to the experience of Emeka and Francis. Someone said negotiation skills. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's possible that, Emeka was being very modest when they asked, oh, how much will you charge? He said, let me not charge too much, because if I charge too much, maybe I'll scare the client away. So Emeka was, should I say, afraid now to charge his worth. But trust Francis, our Gen Z guy, send your papa. You don't send anybody. You just say, my price is 1 million. You take it or leave it. God knows, probably in his heart, he's shaking. God, please, don't let these people get angry. And go and look for another person. But you never know. You never know. So very closely, remember I said your positioning, your product first, that's the foundation, because you are the product. You have to pay attention to your positioning. If you are going to put yourself in traffic, if that's the only place you are visible, Mbok, you cannot charge 1 million, no, for water. It's just like in traffic. Everybody knows that a bottle of water in Lagos, Nigeria is 200 naira. So imagine if somebody is now say, I'm driving and okay, how much? Give me water. How much is your water? He says 500. I'll say, what? You're not even serious. What will I do? I'll move on to the next person selling water. So you have to understand that your environment influences your pricing. Your skill set should, to a large extent, influence your positioning, which is your distribution, your environment. Then you build on that for your pricing. So if you know that you want to serve premium markets, you must be visible in premium markets and you would be able to charge premium, right? So as a young professional, how does this apply to you? You must make sure that you are visible. Your value, let me put it that way. Your value must be so obvious. So you are not coming as somebody to be helped. I've encountered a few young graduates that will say, please, ma, I'm the breadwinner in my family. I'm like, how is that one my problem now? Right? Another person will say, oh, I can come if I build an N8N workflow for you, I would automate your task, and the things that you spend 3 days doing, you can do it in 3 hours. That's value. Because remember, your pricing is linked to the perceived value that either your employer or your project partner thinks that you are able to deliver. So you must be able to frame your skill set, which is your product, as a solution. So you are not saying, I build dashboard. What does that mean? You must be able to frame it as solving a problem that your employer or your product manager has. That way, depending on how painful the problem is to your employer, a bigger pain right? If you are solving a big pain point for your employer, there's a likelihood that you will be paid more. And that's why they always say on the streets that sense is better than strength. Than strength. The bricklayer walking on the road, pushing, or carrying cement on a construction site. Compare that to the architect sitting in the office. In terms of manual capacity, the bricklayer is doing more. But because what the architect is doing requires brain power, he's going to charge 1,000 times more. So always frame your skill sets as a solution. So you are not building dashboards, you are not doing research just for the purpose of research. Think of the end product and frame it that way. Right. So I've talked about the first P, which is product. Thank you, my people. I'm loving this energy. I've talked about the second P, which is your place. Where can we find you? How distributed are you? How visible, if you want to put it that way? Your third P is your pricing. Price with your full chest, provided you have fixed one and two, which is your place and your product, right? Then the final one is what the marketing people call promotion, but I want to call it, you know, the peri-peri. That's the Yorubas will say the orishirishi. Someone should help me translate. I don't know the English word for orishirishi. Someone should help me translate and put it. So it's the thing that makes the pot of soup sweet. When you are eating all the extra condiments, the periwinkles, the stock, those things that make soup exciting. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Those things that make the soup exciting, and visually appealing. You look at a picture and you are salivating already, right? So the first of the promotion, and those are the things that really accelerate you. I have seen great people fall down like a pack of cards. I don't know how many of us remember the story of the Paystack co-founder. That's a very touching story, but it shows that if you don't have certain things in place, no matter how high you go, you can come crashing like Humpty Dumpty. So never forget that, my people. Your place is everything. Your place is everything.
Lizzie, I'm not sure we can hear you. I can't hear you from my end. So maybe it's a network glitch. So, guys, I believe that you are all taking notes because this is a bombshell of what we call alpha, career alpha. Okay? It's a bombshell of career alpha that you don't want to joke with. You don't want to joke with it. You don't, informations like this do not come to you on a platter of gold. You can only get informations like this in analytics
Sorry.
where we want the best for you. So Lizzie is back. Yes, thank you very much. You're welcome back.
Oh, sorry. Did you lose me at some point?
Yes, I mean, for like a minute or two now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry, what was the last thing you heard me say?
Okay, so because I had to refresh my internet to be sure I was not the one having the glitch. So let me ask the audience. What was the last thing she said?
Okay. Guys, please, what was the last thing you heard me? So I know how far back to rewind.
Okay, you're talking about
Okay, is someone helping me? Please, what was the last? Ah, is it
Orishi.
Orishirishi you said? Seriously? Oh no, I have to rewind quite a lot.
Okay, no,
Okay, Orishirishi. I was talking about paystack. Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, my people.
you're welcome,
That
ma.
shows you're paying attention. Yeah. So I'll just pick it up from Orishirishi by popular demand and Paystack. The Paystack, that's Ezra Olubi. Yes, so I was talking about promotion and I was like, that's beyond your skill set, beyond your pricing, beyond your positioning, right? This particular promotion is what determines how far you would go. So I was saying that God gives people equal dose. God is not partial. He gives everybody equal doses of capacity. So what makes one person go farther than the other a lot of times is just a product of time and chance. Or what you call time is being ready when the opportunity presents itself. I was talking about one of the components of promotion as discipline, right? Discipline is very important. If you say 9 o'clock, if you need to turn a project in at 9 o'clock, it must be 9 o'clock. I know of people that have missed opportunities because they were late for interviews, right? I know of people that have missed bigger opportunities because they failed to deliver when they were supposed to deliver the small one. Life would always present you a platform for testing, but how you handle it matters. The good book says, he that is faithful in little is faithful in much. It didn't say will be faithful in much. It's the way you handle the little, you would handle the much. It's the way you handle yourself when nobody is looking. It's when the way you handle yourself when you have a global platform. So I was using the experience of what happened to Ezra as an example. And that is a classic failure, for want of a better word. Pardon me. I empathize with him totally, but that's a classic failure of promotion. When he was writing those tweets 10 years ago, he had no idea that a few years down the line, he was going to hold such a massive role. And because he failed to check these little things, was what resulted in his downfall for a company that he poured sweat and blood in, right? So, number one, be disciplined. Mean what you say and say what you mean. It doesn't matter, and you can start training yourself in the little things, right, with your friends, because success is a habit. You catch up on it, right? So the second one is consistency. Don't get tired. Some of you feel that, oh, you've done everything by the books, you have developed your portfolio, you've put it on GitHub, but the projects are not coming. Continue, because consistency compounds. It has a compounding effect. The fact that you are doing it today, doing it tomorrow, doing it next one. If you do it today, you relax. Then 3 days later, you come again. Then you relax. What you are doing, for every time you relax, you are taking yourself 3 steps backward. But if you continue earnestly encouraging yourself, and that's the value of a community like this. So please leverage it as much as possible. When you are down, express yourself, be vulnerable, let somebody hold your hand, let somebody encourage you, and because it compounds, right? You must be consistent. You must be a person of integrity. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Let people be able to count on your words, to say that because Tumi said it, I can go to the bank, I can go and sleep, right? So be that kind of person, because it doesn't matter how skilled you are. If you don't have this little rishi, it's going to be a road. It doesn't mean now. Remember, Ezra's son did not catch up with him until 10 years later, right? So for now, I would stop. I hope this has been valuable. I hope that you have picked one or two things that you can work with, and I would take questions now. Thank you very much again. Well done to everyone in the team. Well done to Tumi's team. Well done to everyone in the community. Well done to our amazing people for even showing up today. I appreciate you. I celebrate you. And I look forward to seeing you at the top. Thank you very much.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much. That was extremely, extremely informative. Yes, extremely informative. So I'll just yield the floor to the moderator Onwughalu to take over. Let's have the questions in, and then Liz, you can answer them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much, Mrs. Elizabeth, for that amazing session. That was like a masterclass, basically, in a very strategic way. Okay, so to our audience, we have 5 minutes to take questions. If you have any questions for Mrs. Elizabeth, feel free to ask. We'll be looking out in the comment section for questions. Okay, so I'm not seeing any questions flooding in the comment section. You guys don't have any question? I mean, this is a one in a lifetime opportunity. Like, okay, so we have a question. Okay. It says, in terms of pricing, what's your opinion on taking on projects that are not directly your role?
Your role. Okay, thank you very much. That's a very, very intelligent question. All right, so I like to say that so it depends on where you are in your career, right? So if you are in your early career, so you are just starting out, take any and every project. Remember what I said about compounding. You don't know where that skill set will come in. Do you understand? So if you are not learning directly, you will learn indirectly. Okay, so you can learn skills, you can learn negotiation. So if your core is you're a data analyst or you're a research analyst or whatever it is you do, you build automation, workflows, and all that. If you are getting a project that is not directly that, or you are getting a project in something else, for someone in early careers, it's okay to take it. Why? And I'll tell you why. Because remember, in your early career, you are just cherry picking. Do you understand? So no project is too small, and that's what we call the sacrificial stage. So no project is too small for you to take up because what you don't learn directly, you will learn indirectly. So as long as it doesn't distract you. So for instance, after 20 years working, I cannot take a job as a project engineer, for example. Why? Because I have established myself, I have grown in HR, in business, and career. So that particular role, except I want to pivot, okay, that particular role will be a distraction for me at that time after 20 years. But if you are still 1 to 3 years, please by all means take it. And who knows, you may fall in love with it. I've met people who have pivoted, say, oh, I thought I wanted to do this, but I'm loving this right now. Remember, we are in the age of AI, so a lot of jobs are going to be disrupted. You don't know what the future holds for you. So any skill worth doing is worth learning and it's worth doing well. I hope that helped. Maybe if you need more, you can connect with me. Tumi has my handles and I'll be very happy to support you more. But for an early career person, you can take any and every, whatever you don't learn. Interestingly, I was telling someone the other day, I have a side business. I bake, right? But how did I even learn baking? I learned baking when Jam jammed me. I don't know if people have so many options these days, right? You just come out of school, you just write one exam, you just enter school. You write Jam will jam you, eh? You write Jam 4 times, right? So Jam jammed me and I was waiting. And my sister said, oh, instead of us to just be waiting at home, doing nothing, why don't we go to catering school? So my elder sister went to catering school and she will come back. And when she's doing her homework, all of us will be doing it together. Today, I'm building a multi-millionaire business from a skill I learned over 25 years ago. So can you see that nothing really is wasted, right? Who knows? That might even be my retirement plan. So please acquire as much as you can because of the compounding effect. Thank you.
Once Miss Christian, I believe she must have answered your question. Okay, so the next question we have is, what would you do differently if you were starting today?
Oh, wow. Hey, you people want me to go back into those moments of heartbreaks that I had. Okay, what would I do differently? The truth is, I would position better, I would distribute better. And I'll tell you why. I grew up in a very conservative family, right? My father was very conservative. In fact, there was a time that one of my friends came to visit me. He didn't say anything, no. We accommodated, we entertained the person and all that. Then after the friend left, my dad said, I did not send you to school to come and be making friends. So, hi, God knows, I felt so bad. I was like, can't somebody have friends again? So because of that, I shut myself out. So I was content being a brilliant student, but brilliant student, Jesus girl, and that was it. So I limited my circle a lot. I'm still paying for that today. You know why? Because most of my friends, right, they are now in very big places. They are in places that just a phone call and I'll get something, right? But because I distanced myself, I wasn't growing. And that's one thing about the power of community. Please don't joke with your community. It can be your analytic, your Sage Lab community. It can be your community from high school. It can be your community from university. Don't joke with your community. Why? Because as they are growing, you are growing with them. And it's a lot easier for you that has grown with me. Do you understand? For me to be able to open doors for you than for a stranger saying I'm doing networking. That's why the way they've bastardized these networking words, it doesn't work like that. You can't just show up from the blues and tell me this. No, I would rather somebody from my circle, right? I remember somebody sharing an experience. I don't know how many of us know KPMG. KPMG is a big four consulting firm. And one of the partners was sharing, very young guy, and was saying the reason he became partner, he met, as in there were people that were older than him, much more qualified than him, that were not even partner yet. But he came and in record time, they made him partner. Why? And he broke it down for us. Then he went to KC. KC is King's College. And he was very vibrant, after they left school, he was very vibrant in their alumni community and all of that. And as all of them were growing, they were growing together. So he said by the time he got into KPMG, all of his peers in school had become the bank MDs. So the MD of GT, MD of Access, but all of them were all his peers in school. So it was very easy for him to knock on doors and say, guy, I need to meet my target this month. Give me job. And before you know it, job will come out. So it was because he was bringing the big jobs. That was one of the things that accelerated, his promotion to partner in record time. So what am I saying? So what I would do different is that I would leverage my social network, you know, better. So now I'm paying for what I didn't do when I was much younger. So now you find me going for events. I'll tell them, oh, you attended this school. This is the school I attended. And then, oh, really? But you don't come for meetings and all of that. And trust me, remember I said your foundation has to be right. Your product has to be right. As long as your product is right and you add all of these things, you find out that it will accelerate your career. But if you are building with your product alone, you would struggle. Trust me. I know how many opportunities I've missed because I wasn't well distributed. I wasn't visible in the right circles. So please don't joke with your community. Very, very important. So that's one thing I would do differently. So I hope that answered your question.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma, for that response. The next question we have is there a way to contact the speaker? Okay. Yes, we shared her link, the link to her LinkedIn in the community, so you can do well to connect with her through the link. Thank you. Okay, so another question we have is, how long did it take you to feel confident?
Oh, well, do I sound confident? You guys have made my evening. Okay. Thank you very much. So, that's another. So you guys are taking me back years back. Please, how much time do I have? Oh, let me not go and overshoot my time. My sweet moderator, how much time do I have left? Let me know how far back I'm going to go.
Okay, ma,
I
about
How much
mean,
ten
time?
minutes.
You can take your time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Did you say 10 minutes?
Yes, my did.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. So I'll try and squeeze it. So, yeah, so I have an assistant speaker here, my daughter. She just said about confidence. I should tell you that confidence is a cloth and you wear it, right? And I'll explain. So, the truth is, nobody is really born with confidence. You have to build it. You have to be. I'm a very, for those who know me, I see one or two of my people on the call. I'm a very reserved person, reserved so bad that when I was growing up, if I wish I could put on my video, but it would affect my bandwidth. If I'm talking to you, I will use my palm to cover my eye and be dancing because I was too shy to look anybody in the face. That's how bad, it was. Right. But again, I realized that it's something that you have to do. So what helped me is sometimes I have to act it, just stand in front of the mirror, imagine that I'm speaking to many people, and you now have to develop it. Are there tools that you can use to help you? Absolutely. But the foundation, it starts with your inner self. How do you feel inside? Because if you don't feel good inside, it's going to affect your confidence, right? And like my daughter said, it's something you put on. So it's okay to put it on, right? After now, and if I have to put it off and return to my introverted self, right? So the first is you need to do the inner work and feel good about yourself, right? You don't feel you are too tall, don't feel you are too short, you are too fat, you are too slim, you are disadvantaged. All your mates, they are in other places, your mates are dating odogus, you are here following brother John that doesn't even know where he's going. Do you understand? So you must, and that inner that inner, should I call it inner strength or inner peace, comes very tied to your purpose. So if you know that, and that's where being a person of faith comes in. If you know who you are, if you understand your purpose, if you understand that you are a blessing to the world, you are not somebody who is looking for urgent 5k, but you have something that the world needs, it compounds. So you just do better and you grow better. So the first task I would say for anyone who is not feeling so confident is look inwards, right? If you need support, I'm available. I'm also, a coach and a counselor. So if you need support, we would work on it together until you begin. Then you start with small circles. I remember someone also sharing her experience, about how she used to feel intimidated. This is someone that if I call her name, all of you will know. And she said one of the first assignments that her mentor gave her was they went for a program together. They went for a WIMBIZ program. I don't know how many of you know WIMBIZ, Women in Management and Business, very massive platform. And the mentor told her, oh, yeah, go and ask a question. So like, ma, I will die. She said, don't worry, die. I will carry you out of this room. And because she did that thing that, made her afraid, the thing skyrocketed her confidence. So it's like saying, face your fears. What's that thing that you're afraid of doing? Go and do it. So you can imagine someone really very timid raising a hand to ask a question where there were thousands of women. That thing broke something in her. So those little practice, but it first starts with inner work. So please let me stop here. If we need to connect better, please feel free. You can share my number as well. I'm happy to connect and support you more. So thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much for that amazing response, Ma. So the next question is, beyond the code, how can a candidate best narrate the business impact of a project in their portfolio? Should they build with the technical challenge solved or the business outcome enabled?
Thank you very much. Hey, you guys are pros in this section. Oh. This is like an MBA case study. All right, so it's the business outcome because not everybody understands technical, but everybody understands Naira and Kobo. So even if so, first, I remember, and I'm very honest with you, there was a candidate that we interviewed, and she was amazing at doing dashboards. There was one question the CEO asked, what's the value of this? The technical guy was saying, oh, she does amazing dashboard, amazing, amazing, amazing. And the CEO said, yes, we know she does Dune, she does, all those fantastic things. But what's the value to the business? Can you see? So, but unfortunately, what's I'm sure the technical person the investment person didn't even understand the value to the business. So until you can link your projects to direct value to the business, You have not framed the problem you are solving. One way to look at it is, how does what I'm doing, whether it's a code, whether it's a dashboard, whether it's a research, how does it help this company increase revenues? How does it help them to reduce costs? How does it help them to attract new customers? How does it help them to keep customers? How does it make the process more efficient? Remember the example I gave about using anything to automate workflows. So a task that would have taken 3 days is taking 3 hours. And you can justify it to say that, so instead of having 5 people on the team doing these tasks in 3 days, with one person and my N10 workflow, I have saved you salary for 4 other people, and I have even given you a better impact. Like, I don't know if there are GTM engineers here. Everything they are doing with sales automation and GTM engineering and Clear and Apollo is things that we used to hire 3 people to do. We hire content person, we hire that will do email marketing, we hire digital, we hire, but with a simple workload, you know, you can do the entire lead, the manage the leads from the funnel and all of those automation. So remember I said it must be able to make the process more efficient. So think of it in those 3 buckets. It must belong to one of them. If it doesn't belong to one of them, then you are doing paparazzi. Increase revenue, reduce cost, find new customers, keep customers, make processes more efficient, shorten time, do things more efficiently and more accurately. So please, as much as possible, make sure that whatever you are doing can fit into anywhere in these 3 buckets that I've mentioned. So I hope that helped.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ma, for that. I believe she must have answered your question to the audience who asked that. Okay, outstanding. Now, thank you so much, Mrs. Elizabeth, for your time. It has been great. It has been great having you with us, and we value your time with us. Thank you so much, Ma.
Thank you. I have totally enjoyed myself. Thank you so much. I'm feeling the love in the chat. Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure spending the evening with you. Thank you to Tumi and his amazing team for the great work that they are doing. And I wish you all the very best. Remember, you are special and you are built for the top. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, Ma. Okay, now we transition from strategy to execution. Guys, if you're receiving value so far, I want to see the energy in the comment section. I want to see the energy in the comment section. Okay. So we'll be moving forward to the next thing on the agenda. Knowing what to build is half of the battle, right? Now we learn how to build it live. Our next guide is the perfect person to lead this. Please, let's welcome Mr. Stephen Onwughalu, Talent Operations at Sourcing Sprint. Mr. Stephen Onwughalu is a passionate advocate for human capital development and education. With 6+ years of experience, he empowers individuals and communities through transformative opportunities. He works at Sourcing Sprints, connecting organizations with top talent using data-driven innovations. Previously, he served as a recruitment associate at Teach for Nigeria, improving education and identifying exceptional talent. Mr. Stephen is committed to bridging educational gaps and championing equity, leveraging tech, education, and data analytics to drive impact. Can we see a rounding applause in the comment section? Let's welcome Mr. Stephen as he takes the stage. Okay, Mr. Stephen, over to you, sir. You're welcome, sir. It's an honor to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm not sure I know your name, but thank you for that very warm welcome. And thanks to everyone that is here. Thank you so much, Tumishe, for inviting me to speak to your community. Before I start, hopefully Madam Liz has not left the stage yet. I just want to say thank you very much for, setting the foundation or setting the precedent, for my own speak. To be honest, I wanted to text Tumishe when Madam Liz was talking, and I wanted to just tell him that, bros, I don't think there is anything for me to present again, because I don't know, you set me up with all of these things that Madam Liz has dished out. I really don't know what else he wants me to come and talk about. But then I realized that, it seemed like, everything just, organized itself perfectly, right? Because when Tumishe even reached out, he didn't exactly tell me what to talk about, but I really liked that I didn't speak before Madam Liz. And the reason is because my own session basically is touching just one aspect of the 4 Ps that Madam Liz talked about. I tried to be in the session. I had other things, doing in the background, but I just put the session on loudspeaker. So I was picking things, but I made sure I picked out the 4 Ps she talked about. And those were product, place and positioning, pricing and promotion, right? I don't want to ask you people so that the people that were not in class will not catch them. But don't worry, my session is very practical and everybody will definitely be all hands on deck shortly. So when you look at the 4 Ps that Madam Liz talked about, I want to believe that my own session will be focusing on the positioning, right? Maybe promotion, right? Because I just want to talk about, how to position yourself on whatever platforms that you use best. For those of you in Web3, it looks like that platform is Twitter. I'm not so active on Twitter. But generally, in terms of job opportunities, career advancement, and all, I would say LinkedIn is the place to be, and that is where that is where my forte is. That's where like my strong point is. I will try as much as possible to spend 30 minutes or less with you people, just straight to the point, because I had other engagement I had to like shake schedule a little bit just so that I can fit into the time that I had earlier forgotten that my session is 7 p.m. So before we start, right, what is one thing you are looking forward to from this session? If you can quickly type in the chat box, just one thing that you are looking forward to in the chat box. I hope you guys can hear me. I believe you can hear me because it's showing clarity. Okay. I think Madam Liz has done justice to that. But good. I'm glad you are looking forward to that. God's baby. All of these your names, Sha. It is well. Only one response. We have to be very responsive. Direction. Direction. Interesting. I'm not sure if my session will give you direction, Sha, but we'll see. 2 responses, maybe 2 more, and then we'll continue. Pointers. Great. If I'm right, all of us on this call have passed through the analytics sages training. I don't know how the cadre of training are, but I believe like everyone on this call is like a Web3 analyst. Am I correct? Like we all have that Web3 analytics skills. Okay, cool. Interesting and industry focused insight to the business of data analysis. I'm not sure my session would deal with that one, but I like that, Madam Liz touch a little bit on the aspect of, your skill, not just having that skill that, I can build dashboard with Dune and all of that, but what business problem are you solving with all of those? So Madam Liz has really touched about that. That's why I said my session will be more on the place and positioning and maybe promotion, however you want to target. I also want to very quickly direct us on how we can position ourselves on LinkedIn. And to do that, I want two people to share their LinkedIn profiles with me very quickly. Just share in the chat box. I want to take that as a foundation to what I want to share. Remember, I said this session is very practical, so I will be demanding a lot of things from you. All those of you that has joined the call and you are in your kitchen, maybe warming soup, turning semo, boiling water for a bath, better go and call everybody back, because I wish we were on maybe Zoom or something, so that I can be seeing your names and I will be calling you out. Because so far I'm only just seeing God's baby, and I don't want to just keep calling God's baby, right? So link two LinkedIn profiles very quickly, or if I see one, no, one will not do the job. I need two, so I can do a little bit of comparison. Two LinkedIn profiles very quickly. I would have asked for your Twitter or X, whatever the name is now, but I'm not very active on that platform, and I'm not sure I can access. But maybe if you have Twitter, you can share. Let me see if I can view it. But my session is basically focusing on LinkedIn. Nobody has. To be sure, your people don't have LinkedIn profile. I don't want to believe you people don't.
Maybe they are skeptical and they don't want you to roast their.
Oh,
their LinkedIn.
no, not at all. I mean, as a matter of fact, I mean, if it's even better that your profile is not good enough, and who knows, as the spirit lead, who can practically on the session be redesigning it, for you. So please
I think
don't be
someone
shy.
dropped their name. Let me get the person's page. Okay, I'm sending it to you
Oh,
now.
okay. I'm seeing that. Okay.
Let me just send
I
it to
s-
you.
okay. Thanks. Oh, posted mine already. Are there two different chats? Because some people. Okay. Oh, okay. I see Daniel Oluwole. Oluwole. Yeah, that's Oluwole. I think I got that right. Daniel
Just
Oluwole.
I sent the link to the chat.
Okay, cool. I'm looking at Daniel Oluwole right now. Sorry, I have to move a little bit. Daniel is an on-chain data research analyst, driving impact through in-depth on-chain, whatever. Okay, interesting. I don't see a summary. Not so important anyway. He has blockchain data analysis, community moderator. Okay, government technical college. Okay. Is there any other person? Let me see another one. Chukwu Ebuka Israel Ojako. Let me see if I can find you with your name. Let's see if I can find you with your name. Okay, while I'm doing that, right? Since we are all, I mean, a majority of us are all analytics stage, are all like Web3 data analysts. Can I also ask that another two people, maybe different from the two people that share their LinkedIn profile, send a link to their dashboard portfolio, portfolios, the things you have built, dashboard you have built, anything. Again, it doesn't have to be, don't think you have to have 10 projects, or even if it's just one project that you built. Let me just see. I'm not that good on LinkedIn. Please don't roast. Don't worry, we are not roasting. I need two people to just share their portfolio link very quickly. Chukwuebuka Ojiako. Ojiako, blockchain data analyst, technical writer, creative pharmacist. Okay, he has an about session. Significantly, okay, interesting. Interesting stuff. Okay. Clipper, freelance, career break, support. Okay. Okay. Not bad. I haven't seen any portfolios yet. Okay, why that is coming, I want to tell you a very short story, very, very short story, why I'm asking about these things, right? As the moderator has, please, what's the moderator's name so I like addressing people by name. Please, oh, okay.
On
Tumishe,
your bus.
somebody said they sent their portfolio link. It looks like the chat I'm seeing is different from wherever they are sending that thing.
I
Because
mean, I can't see any link here though. But
oh,
Rotimi, you can send it to
yeah,
me,
wrote to me say okay,
so I'll just drop it on the.
okay. The moderator is Onyobazi, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. So, like Onyobazi rightly read my profile. I currently work at Sourcing Sprint, and what we do at Sourcing Sprint is we help startup founders to find technical talents for their team, technical and non-technical, because these days we also help them find people like growth marketer, head of growth, product managers, some of those that are not exactly technical, but mostly software engineers and the rest of that, right? And literally, I wake up and sleep on LinkedIn. That's where I do my work, right? And what we do is we look for, say, for instance, I'm looking for a founding software engineer for a company that is based in San Francisco, right? And they've given us the job description, the year of experience, which contains like everything this person will be doing, including the years of experience and all of that, location constraint, blah blah blah. Right? My job now is to go on LinkedIn and to look for that person. And who are the people that we are looking for? Interestingly, is very funny, right? Life is just very funny. The people we are looking out for are people that actively have jobs, right? So somebody has a job and we want to tell him to please come and work with this other company that is our client. Why is that? Because we feel like it is the person who has a job that has the what's the word now, required qualification. Thank you very much. I can see all the links you are sharing, and I'm trying to open as many of them as possible. So it is people who have the job, so to say, or who have a job, who are currently doing a job that we are reaching out to, because we feel that those are the ones who are qualified or have skills that we are looking out for. And there are a lot of things that we look out for when we look at the person's profile, right? So I just wanted to tell this story because of people who don't have LinkedIn Spaces or Twitter. It looks like for Web3, Twitter is a place where hiring people go to. But for me and the work I do, and for many other kinds of roles that are not Web3, Web3 space is still like very unique and very fast paced and very quote and unquote, with all due respect, very Gen Z kind of thing where you very random, you can get jobs from anywhere, as long as you position yourself very well, right? So why am I telling this story? As a Web3 analyst, as a Dune dashboard expert, all the things that you are, which is the product, right? Remember the product that Liz has spoken about. If you don't have the proper place or positioning, it will be likely difficult. Now, if you, again, I'll just keep making reference to that 4 Ps because, to be honest, Madam Liz just set a very good foundation for what I intend to share this evening, right? And if you look at there was an order with which she listed those 4P, right? You don't come into the market and you start giving pricing if you don't have a product, right? Product, like she said, doesn't have to be that you are selling something. And she rightly said that that product is you, right? So if you as a product don't have the relevant skills, you cannot come into the market to position anything or to have a place, and before you even start thinking of having pricing, right? Now, if you have that product, which is the skill, you have the Web3 analytics skills, you have the Dune dashboard skill, you are building dashboard, and you are not showcasing those things, or you don't even have a presence where you should showcase it. You are not active on X, where it seems like most Web3 things are happening other than LinkedIn. And you don't also have a LinkedIn web page. And to even make it worse, right? To make it worse, you don't have a portfolio. Trust me, you are not going anywhere. I mean, you are not even ready to get started yet, right? So when you have built that product, which is you have gained that skill, the very next step, which is very, very important, right, is to build your place and positioning. And that requires you to ensure that you are very active in the platforms where your skills are looked out for. If you think that Web3 products or Web3 analysts or Web3 talents are looked for most on X, please be on X. But most importantly, as you're on X, what will people see when they come to your profile on X, right? If I look at your profile on X and I'm not seeing somebody shared, let me look at this. I hope the Twitter will open on my PC because I'm not very active on X. Okay, so I'm looking at Dan Somi. I study on chain data. Let me show you what I found. The chain scope. I don't know if that chain scope. Oh, okay. Then I see a link to his I think I see a link to his portfolio. Fantastic. So, oh yeah, dune.com/bold faces. Let me see what he has in that place. He has 2,413 views. Impressive. Forked 18 times, 67 stars. Very impressive portfolio. If right now, as we are talking, I was on an active project to look for an on-chain analyst, the moment I come to this guy's Twitter page, I take less than a minute to make decision. I look at the things he's posting. He has been posting about on-chain data analysis and all of that, from his headline. Oh, apologies. Can I share my screen?
Yes, you can. Please go ahead.
Let me see. Okay, share screen. Sharing it. Is there 2 monitors? I hope you can see. Okay, fantastic. Let me just share his profile. Okay, can you see Dan Somi's profile?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So I just wanted people to see what I'm talking about, right? I just love this profile as I came on the profile. Like everything I need to make a decision in less than 60 seconds is here for me, right? It's what is now left is, if I invite him, I believe it's a him, or her. If I invite him for an interview, he will now come and show me all of these things he's displaying here, right? I love the fact that his, headline is on point. Once I come to this platform and I'm looking for a Web3 analyst, I don't need to think 2 times. I know that this person is a Web3 analyst. And I want to know if, is this person even serious? He's already showing me signs that he's a serious person by putting his portfolio link here, and I clicked on the portfolio. Oh, I'm only showing one. Let me reshare again and share.
So I think there is a
My
button where you can share. Just click on share screen, and then
yeah. I intentionally wanted to share one tab, forgetting
yeah,
that I will be moving around. But I believe that right now you can see my screen, and as I'm moving, you are moving with me. Yes, you can see me moving between X and both faces
not,
No,
not
portfolio.
yet.
sir.
Oh, oh wow. But I'm sharing. What can you see now, please?
Okay.
You can see Twitter, yes?
Yes, we can see Twitter now.
Okay, so I clicked on his portfolio and it brought me here. Can
Yeah,
you
we can
see
see
his
it
port?
now. Yes.
Awesome, fantastic, right? So I don't need to start spending my time looking at, like depending on what I'm looking out for, right? If I quickly just wanted to know if this guy is a Web3 person and then invite him for interview, I'm done. I've made my decision and I'm inviting him for interview. But then if I want to maybe dig more, I want to dig in more to see, oh, okay, what has he done? He's already showing like the things he has done here. You can see that there are some activities on his portfolio and all of that. And this is like a perfect example of he has built himself, which is a product, and now he has positioned himself very well, right? Just like a perfect example that I really just wanted to showcase. Now the question I have for you, everyone on this call, is, you don't have to be, your portfolio doesn't have to be exactly the way he has built his own, right? It could be better, it could be maybe not as good as his own, but do you have a portfolio? Do you have a Twitter handle that people can easily go, and when they search they will see you come up? Do you have a LinkedIn profile? Is your LinkedIn profile working? Is your LinkedIn profile workable? Is it something that people can click on? What are you putting on your LinkedIn profile? Okay, interesting. You people are well positioned here. Let me share this other one. Um, Let me share this other one. This one is a LinkedIn profile. I want to spend a little bit of time on the LinkedIn profile because that one is where I spend my time. Please, can you confirm that you can see Rotimi's LinkedIn profile? I just moved.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fantastic. So you can see Rotimi Akirinde, right? And Rotimi has like the perfect tagline. Rotimi has financial data scientist, blockchain analytics specialist, building automated systems for DeFi. Like, he's well positioned, right? See the one I love so much. He has his portfolio here. I don't need to be stressing myself and be looking for, like, really interesting. The way he designed his yes, is like his portfolio has a very lovely and interesting design, I must say. But trust me, you don't have to. This is just to encourage anyone who is procrastinating. Oh, how can I build my portfolio to be this good and all of that? It doesn't have to be this good. As long as there are links to the projects that you have done, that is great. As long as there are links to, like, he has summary of projects that he's worked on, I can check them out, see details and all of that. Like, very perfectly positioned, right? Very perfectly positioned. In his about section, he has details of things he has done. He's a blockchain analyst with analytics sages. I know 10 analytics. I wanted to do a program with them one time, but then I couldn't. I know this company. Very interesting stuff. Currently doing his masters in the UK. Did his bachelor's in Bowen University. This is like a very, like, a well organized LinkedIn profile, right? Well organized LinkedIn profile, and this is what recruiters look out for, right? I can tell you for a fact that a lot has changed in terms of, positioning yourself for job, positioning yourself for opportunities, and you can position yourself so well that you don't necessarily need to be the one looking for jobs will find you, right? Because for instance, a very, just to make an example, if I had a client now that wants me to find a blockchain analyst for him based in the UK, right? There are high chances that once I go on LinkedIn search and do the filters that use all the filters that I want to use, right, Rotimi will show up. There is a very big chance that if I use different filters that I need to use to find a blockchain analyst who is based in the UK, Rotimi will show up. And the reason is because he has the right things on his profile, right? His tagline is perfect. He has his portfolio. He has the different places where he has worked before, built this skill, and where he's currently working. In his about session, he talked about what he does, mentioned automated DeFi analytics, mentioned interactive dashboard, and how he uses interactive dashboard on Dune analytics and all of that. So like, literally any keyword that I will use to find people who work in blockchain, in Web3 as blockchain analysis, he has it on his profile, and that would very easily and very quickly bring him up the search, when I'm looking for people. So like, very importantly, you need to, as a matter of urgency, unfortunately, this session is not for us to practically build somebody's LinkedIn profile, but I can assure you, maybe, just maybe, you will have another session where we can do like one-on-one hands-on on building somebody's LinkedIn profile. But please don't think it as a big deal. The same way, I remember when I was telling some close friends about updating their LinkedIn profiles and all of that, and they'll be like, "Oh, Stevie, help me." I said, I like, literally, I don't even have time for myself every day. Like, I literally work from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And once I'm done, I want to go away from anything that has to do with screen before I go blind, right? So I don't even have time to come and be showing, like. But one thing I always say to people is, LinkedIn is to be honest, is literally like creating a Facebook account. If you can go to Facebook, create account, update all the different profile pages and all of that, you can do the same on LinkedIn, right? All you need to do is what you need to do is to find an example of somebody whose LinkedIn is in a very good way, and see what maybe some of the things they wrote there and all. Or if you have a CV, if you are the type that has built your CV, LinkedIn is just like transferring everything on your CV to LinkedIn. On your about session, you put the summary that usually the career summary or career objective, whatever you people call it now, you have on CV. You just put it on your about session. You put your work experiences. Like, it's just click and type. So you don't need to even pay anybody to optimize your LinkedIn and all of those, all of those big English where that people, you hear from people optimizing LinkedIn. Optimization is simply just mentioning the right things on your LinkedIn profile, right? If you create a LinkedIn account and you just go there to put Web3 analyst, and you don't say anything about how you built dashboard, there is no link to your portfolio, you don't write at least one or two sentences what you can do with Dune and all of that, you don't mention blockchain analytics, you don't mention Web3 analysis using dashboard and all of those, those are the optimization. It's not like there's any magic that you need to perform, or like YouTube where you have to do what's the word now, that thing they do on YouTube, is I'm missing my SEO, search engine optimization. Yeah, you don't need SEO, search engine optimization, anything on LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn optimization is simply just saying the things you do, mentioning the key words for the things you do. And those keywords, you don't find them from the sky or anywhere. Those keywords are there in the work that you do. Those keywords are blockchain. Those keywords are on-chain analysis. Those keywords are Dune dashboard. Those are the optimization. No? There is no magic around it, right? And once you are done with this, what is the next thing that you probably should be doing? Because it's not just that you do it and go to sleep. The next thing that you probably should be doing is showcasing your work, right, on those platforms. So I don't know if it looks like you people have weekly meetings or so, or you typically have assignments, or like you are grouped into groups to build project. I'm not sure how the Sage community work now, but for everything you build, right, for everything you build or you are going to build or you have built, ensure that you are always speaking about it. You are sharing about it on Twitter. You are sharing about it on LinkedIn, right? However, how much you are allowed to share, because I know that some projects you probably don't want to share it public yet, or some you did it for a client and it doesn't want to go public. You can take maybe collect and maybe request permission from whoever is the client, take a small snapshot and just write like a summary about it, what you did and all of that. That's enough. Like, you don't have to do any big thing, right? Just ensure that you are showing up after you have, of course, the product, which is you now, is in place. You've gotten a place or position in on X and LinkedIn, if possible, and you are now showcasing yourself. Every time you build a project or a dashboard, you are talking about it on LinkedIn. That is you are, you are like more than 50%, in a good place for people to find you, right? The pricing part and the whole psychology around pricing is then what you probably use, the nuggets that Liz shared with us, to know how to price yourself, or how to market yourself, or give yourself the right value when people approach you, right? And once you're able to do all of these things, trust me, I also remember that Madam Liz said something about consistency, and I think she mentioned consistency and just showing up, having that grit to build. So it's not something that if you do it one day, you do it 2 times or 3 times and nothing happens, you just go and sleep. No, it doesn't happen that way. You have to consistently show up. You have to consistently showcase your skills, right? And if you are somebody who is maybe you are actively looking for a job or a project, right? That one is a completely different story on its own. You now start thinking about, oh, okay, how do I want to approach my job search? What job search strategies should I want to use? If you want to go on freelance, what freelance platforms do I want to use? Do I even know how to use these freelance platforms, Upwork and the rest of them? How do I, create an account on these platforms to showcase my skills? All of those are like different story altogether, or different session altogether. But for this session, I believe that if you have gained the skills, right, and you are able to showcase yourself properly, build your portfolio, ensure that your portfolio has all of the dashboards that you have built or that you are building, and you showcase it on the not social media now, on X or LinkedIn that you are on, you'll be well positioned for a global career. Let me pause here right now and maybe take 1 or 2 questions. I didn't realize it's 7:30 already. I'll just pause here and take one or two questions, and hopefully that would help us to internalize or solidify this session. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Steven. That was an amazing session. I mean,
Thank you, thank
going
you, thank
through
you.
some yes, sir, going through some persons LinkedIn and Twitter live was like a very incredible thing, sir. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate. So guys, we would be using
You're
5 final minutes
welcome.
to take questions for Mr. Steven. If you guys have any questions for Mr. Steven, I believe we are receiving value. So I want to see some energy as well in the comment section.
Okay, cool.
If you have any questions
Thank
for
you,
Mr.
thank you, thank you.
Steven, please just do well to ask it. We are watching out in the comment section.
Please ask question. Oh, ask question. It's very important that you ask question. I need why your question is why you are still thinking about the question you want to ask. I need everybody to go and look at what's his name again? Sorry. Rotimi Akinrinde's LinkedIn profile, right? Go to Rotimi Akinrinde's LinkedIn profile and ensure that even if your own is not as good as his own, is somewhere close, right? Optimize your, do that. And yeah, thank you very much for sharing that. That's a very good profile that is like really showing that this person is a blockchain analyst. Very interesting profile. I really like it. I think Daniel Oluwole's own too is not bad. The only difference is that I think Daniel is still a student. Yes, Daniel, you are still a student. I want to presume, because I'm not seeing anything about your undergraduate studies here. If you are still an undergraduate or you are even in secondary school, because these days even secondary school people do amazing things, that's fine. At least I can see government technical college. But if you are currently in the university or you finish university, please update that. It's important that you do that. And then find a way to I'm now like, what I'm doing now is more like giving review on Daniel A. Oluwole's profile. Find a way to put your portfolio link on your LinkedIn profile. I like that you are sharing some things. 3 months ago, you shared one mainnet dashboard that you built. 6 months ago, there was another one, but I don't think there is anything recent other than 3 months ago is too far away to stop posting. So I think your latest dashboard you shared was 3 months ago. So you need to share more. Yeah. Okay. I think there is a question. Somebody is saying, yeah, how can we niche down connections on LinkedIn and take the connections away from just followers to real connections? I'm not sure I know the right way to answer this question. This is actually a very interesting question. How can we niche down connections on LinkedIn and take the connections away from just followers to real connection? I think this is where like the next level of connecting with people, or building your skill sets comes in. And I remember, again, Liz, sorry, I'm referencing Liz a lot because I try to listen to her session to pick things that I can build upon. And she shared a story of how, she wasn't very connected with her folks when she was in school and stuff, and she was encouraging us, or encouraging everyone to build meaningful connection, right? I mean, on LinkedIn is, thank you very much for asking this question, Rotimi. Let me say that if you are to connect with somebody on LinkedIn, please, in fact, let me even use an example that I mean, my own example right now. So I just connected with Madam Liz. Like, I literally just connected with her like a few seconds before my own session started. And here is what I said. So let me give you people expo. When you click on, okay, another practical session, I always like to show practical, right? Rotimi, I believe this will attempt to answer your question, right? So when you are going to connect with somebody on LinkedIn, please don't just come here. Can you see Rotimi's account? Can you see Rotimi's account, please? Anyone, can somebody?
Yes, sir. We can see his account now.
Okay, you can see Rotimi's account, right? And I want to
Yes.
connect to Rotimi. If you click on connect, that's if you're on PC. I'm not sure if this happens on mobile. I think on mobile to just connect directly. I'm not sure. I work on my PC a lot, so if you click on connect, it will ask you add a note, send without a note. A lot of people will just come here, very lazy to just type 2 lines of statement. A lot of people will just come here and click send without a note. Trust me, if the person you are connecting to is a professional, maybe very busy person, I mean, say for instance, you are connecting with, you started intentionally, you started connecting with Web3 founders, in the hope that someday that, you can land a job with one of them, and you came to a founder's profile and click send without a note. Chances are that in the next 10 years, you have not gotten that connection, right? So what is the best way to connect? Add a note, right? Add a note, and I will show you practical what I just did with Madam Liz, and which is what I do literally across board, except if it's maybe a close friend that, we just met, and I say, let's just connect on LinkedIn. Maybe we are still together, we are standing together there, and I just click connect. Otherwise, this is what I'll typically do, right? The message doesn't have to be the same message, but let it be that you are saying something. And I said, hi Liz, just listen to you speak in the Sage community. Learned a lot from your session, especially around the 4 Ps, and couldn't wait to connect. Thanks. Like, it was straight to the point, right? And she has connected with me immediately. I will not show you people her response. I will read that one to myself later, right? So, that's like the very first way to take the connection away from just being LinkedIn connection. Like, find something that that we call it icebreaker. Find something that person will easily connect with. It could be that you found this person from a conference that you just spoke on. Pick out something as a take home from that session and use it to talk to that person. It could be that you want to connect to, say, Web3 founders, for instance, and let's say Tumishe is a founder of Tumi Coin, for instance, and you want to connect to Tumishe. You don't just go and click connect, right? You click to add a note, and you say something like, I came across your profile and I really loved what you are building at Tumi Coin. I couldn't wait to connect to, learn more from your experiences, or just, don't go and tell them I'm connecting so you give me a job, or you kill yourself. So just start with something, something that will just build a mutual rapport, right? And that way, you are not just doing a LinkedIn connection, right? Chances are that person will respond. And when that person responds, it's just like communication. From the person's response, you probably have an idea of what next to say to the person and all of that. And from there, you are building rapport already, And to take it a little bit further from there, maybe in the nearest future, you see that person post an article on LinkedIn, you read it and put a comment, or you just celebrate it, or you repost it, like very little things like that are ways that you can take the connection from just click and connect and stuff into something real. So yep. Let's take one more question. I need to run very quickly right now. Somebody says you are transitioning or building and growing your career in both engineering and data analysis. How do you position yourself on LinkedIn without looking confused? I mean, honestly speaking, you don't need to. If engineering and data, wait, when you say engineering, sorry, apologies. When you say engineering, are you talking about our traditional engineering, like electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, and all of that? Or are you talking about software engineering? When I saw engineering, immediately the brain I'm using to look at over 100 software engineers LinkedIn profile just immediately shifted to software engineering. But if you are talking about traditional engineering, right, I think it's very simple, right? The data analytics or the data analysis skill. So sorry, as I'm talking, I'm looking at the time. The data analytics or the data analysis skills you are building, right? There are a lot of projects that tied to engineering, right? Off of my head, say for instance, you are studying civil engineering, right? There are data analytics projects you can Google online, find online projects that you can work on that probably analyzes data of structure for different buildings or what have you. If you are studying maybe petroleum engineering, for instance, they are drilling. They do a lot of drilling, oil well drilling, and all of that. There are data on oil well, on drillings and stuff that you can analyze. So you can always find a way to, use your data analytics skills in the engineering profession that you are pursuing in school. I mean, data analytics can be applied to literally any field of study. Literally any field of study: medicine, engineering, logistics, business, what have you. You can apply it anywhere. So it's just for you to look for projects that are in line with your background, or the things that or the area that you want to focus on when you have honed these data analytics skills, and work on projects that are in that field and build portfolio around that field, and that would be it. All right. Thank you. Oh, okay. Thank God I use civil engineering as an example. Thank you very much, everyone. So sorry that I have to run, but please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I would most likely connect, and you can ask me any further questions there. I try as much as possible to respond to messages within 24 hours because I'm literally on LinkedIn every other day. Thank you very much, Tumishe, for having me. I really, really, really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you, everyone. I wish you all the best. Feel free to connect on LinkedIn. Feel free to chat me up or ask any further questions there. I'm happy to answer every time. All right.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was great. I want to drop your LinkedIn page on the chat
Oh, okay.
so
Cool.
that
Cool.
we can connect with you. Also drop it in the community.
All
So,
right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome. Deeply appreciate that. Okay, over to you, Universal. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Once again, we thank Mr. Steven for that amazing session. So guys, if you received value, just um leave a comment in the comment section. Okay, so okay, let's do a little exercise. Guys, share your key lesson from the session today across your socials, like right now on X, LinkedIn, Instagram. I believe we all received value during today's session. I mean, there's so much to share. So share for as many people who could not participate today, right? Let them know that okay, this session was a banger. Okay, so use the hashtag career acceleration 2025 hashtag day 2, and also don't forget to tag us Sages Lab to your posts. We'll also reshare it in our handles. Okay, so moving forward to the next thing on the agenda, our programs. So we are currently um receiving registration for the SQL path and Python learning path. And registrations for the SQL learning path closes on the 2nd of February. Sorry, closes on the 30th of January next year. And classes begin on the 2nd of February. So if you're interested, do well to register. You can as well share with anyone you know will be interested in participating in the program. So we would be sharing the link to the learning path in the comment section. So do well to click on it. Yeah, then we have the Python for blockchain analytics learning path, and registration ends on the 27th of February. Classes begin on the 2nd of March 2026. So if you're an analyst, right, probably you took the SQL learning path with us, you can as well transition and take it to the next step. If you want, it's not a must that you start with the SQL. If you want to start with the Python, you're also free to do that. Anyone. So yeah. Next up, we have Meet Sages Lab, our flagship organization. Sages Lab is a research and development hub building on-chain data-driven solutions. And under Sages Lab, we have a few subsidiaries like the IntelliSages that delivers blockchain data intelligence, consulting and advisory to accelerate Web3 adoption across Africa. Then we have Analytics Sages, which is our learning platform aimed at demystifying analysts for the future generation. Flugzo, recently launched, is an autonomous intelligence agent, particularly specialized towards DeFi, that provides autonomous private intelligence, understands the market, and executes high-value strategy without information leakages. So, guys, do well to follow us across our socials at Sages Lab. Also, follow us at IntelliSages, follow us at Analytics Sages, and follow us at Fluxo. So, a few key takeaways from the session today. We started with Mrs. Elizabeth, where she gave us 4 P's generously, that had to do with products, packaging, pricing, and promotion. She also told us that we should be disciplined, right? And urged us that success is consistency, right? Consistency has a compounding effect. For every time you relax, you take yourself 3 steps back in your growth journey, in anything you're doing, in your career, right? And you have to do the inner work in terms of confidence. You have to do the inner work and feel good about yourself. Then it begins to reflect. Then from Mr. Steven, he said when connecting with persons, you always have to share like a note with them, something that's relatable, right? So that you can be able to really, that is where the connection begins, right? So for me, right, these are my few key takeaways. You can as well share your key takeaways and tag us on your socials. Okay, guys, so with that said, that's a wrap on day two. For tomorrow, we would be handling negotiating and winning, our day three. We will be closing the program by ensuring that you get the offer and the terms you deserve. So do well to also stream live tomorrow. Don't miss out on the session. Thank you so much for incredible focus throughout. Share your portfolio wins again with the hashtag Career Acceleration 2025, hashtag day two, and don't forget to tag us. Okay, I'm Onyi Obazi. This was day two. We are out. Thank you guys so much.